Charles H. Wright Museum is one of the nation's largest encyclopedic museums of African American history and culture in the country. There are museums that are dedicated to a certain part of history or a certain part of culture. The Wright actually covers all aspects of African American history and culture, thus the term encyclopedic.
And not many people realize how important this institution is to African American history. You have the opportunity to come right to Midtown Detroit and come to the Charles H. Wright. Everybody in the city of Detroit should come here, utilize your assets. This is our space, this is our museum, and it tells our story and it's being told by us. Come check it out. I want to meet the person who comes here and does not learn something about African American history at the Charles H. Wright. I learned so much when I come here. We've got great art exhibits. Right now, there is the King Tut exhibit. There is so much to be done, seen, and learned here at the Charles H. Wright. And so it's always a really exciting place to be.
Like most nonprofits, we have a board of directors. They are the governance body of the institution. The chief executive officer, myself in this case, report to them. The councilman came on the board as an individual, actually, in 2019, meaning he applied not to take a seat as a city councilman, but as an individual who is interested in arts and culture, which was one of the things I think that distinguished him in that particular selection process.
So when the opportunity came, I advocated, I fought, I begged, and I pleaded. I wanted to be a part of this, and I wanted to make sure that I had a say, and I was able to also bring City Council's voice to the board as well. So for me, the passion is we have to ensure that our story is being told. When I say our story, I mean Black people. African American history isn't always told, and we have the opportunity as the oldest African American museum in the country and the leading African American museum to tell our story, but we have to make sure that we're fiscally responsible and that we're fiscally sound. In the past, we haven't always been there. So for me, it was critical to get on the board and talk about how we can do that, and a millage is how we're going to be able to do that. So right now we're in Lansing, we're fighting, we're in Oakland County, and we're in Wayne County, talking to the elected officials to talk about how they can participate in this.
I also think, though, that an institution like the Wright, in this moment, you know, sort of a politically charged moment, right, has the ability to really help people understand where some of the disconnects would be. Every day people come through our core exhibit and they come out going, I had no idea about some aspect of the African American story in this country. You know, people might have heard about the Middle Passage and how slaves were brought across. In the exhibit, though, it shows how they were brought across, right? Packed as sardines in cartons, right? And when people see that, they're stunned, you know, that's what actually happened. Explains a lot. I think if we all knew more about each other and our perspectives, that we'd get along a lot better.
When you have a great, rich American history, which is Black history as well, it's also important to know how that translates to today. And so the issues that we're seeing with civil rights issues, we're seeing with critical race theory, we're seeing with police involvement with the Black community, that's not new. But we can't lose that, and we need to make sure that that history is told and not forgotten. And so that's one of the things that this institution does, and it serves a very critical purpose within our community. Coming down to the Charles H. Wright and learning about African American history, comma, American history. This is our history. It doesn't just belong to Black Americans, it belongs to everybody. And that's why institutions of this nature are so important. It tells the American story, but told from the lens of African Americans, which is great that everybody should learn this. This is great American history told right here in the city of Detroit.